Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. This is Jewell Starsinger coming to you from the Oregon coast. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about the demon in the mirror. So, what happened? What happened? I was brushing my teeth. Now, I spend a lot of time not looking in the mirror. I spend all day walking around talking to people, making connections, cooking food. I don't look in the mirror very often, but when I'm brushing my teeth, I look right into that mirror, right into my eyes. I, I grimace. I pull my lips back and look at my teeth. Yeah, I do that. So don't we all? A couple of weeks ago, I was brushing my teeth in the mirror, and I looked up into the mirror, and I saw a terrible demon. Not kidding. I didn't even recognize my own face. It was frightening. It was terrifying. I'm going to say it because I don't think it was me. I don't think it was me. I think I was seeing a monster, a literal demon. That thing was so scary. The eyes were blazing. The mouth was distorted. Have you seen where, um, like in a horror movie, where their mouth gets really wide and big and their teeth get big and scary and maybe saliva. Jeez. Oh my God. It was gruesome. I swear it was gruesome. So I decided that I was going to stare it down. Because at the time, well, what should I do here? I don't know. I haven't had this happen to me before. In all of my years, I have never had this happen. And so I went, well, let's see. What am I going to do? I mean, I was very present with it. I'm actually quite proud of me because my first thought, my first response was close my eyes, run away, turn out the lights, cover my head, go to bed, put a pillow over my head, lock all the doors. I mean, I was that scared, but I just stood fast. I'm actually Venus in Aries kind of girl, so I'm brave. And I bravely stared back. I bravely forced myself to look into these little hot coal eyeballs and just look right in there. And I'll tell you, it was so scary that I thought it was going to burn me. I thought it was really going to hurt me. So I looked at it and it looked back into me, and I just withstood my fear. I think I must have taken it in for a good 60 seconds. That's a long time. When you think about in a conversation how you take a little pause for a few seconds and everybody gets really uncomfortable, it only takes like maybe 4 seconds for people to get uncomfortable in silence together. Well, I stood there for a full 60 seconds, withstanding, standing up to the fright in the mirror. I kind of debated with myself as I was taking it all in. Should I stay? How long should I stay here? What's the right time? Because, I'm Moon in Libra. I'm always trying to figure out what's the right thing to do. It's just never ending. So annoying, but there it is. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I stood. Well, after what seemed like a year, I relented and I averted my gaze and I didn't look back in the mirror. I didn't want to look back in the mirror. No, I averted my gaze and I left the room. Now, you might wonder, well, that just sounds dumb. That's just you in the mirror. But I have to tell you, it wasn't me. That was not me. So I spent the next 2 days asking who that was because I was like, I need to know who this is. And I need to know what the fear is about. And I really, above all, need to know why now. Why now? Because like I said, I've never seen it before in all my years. And I have a lot of years. I own many years. So the next 2 days were very interesting. I was just consumed with this question of who is this demon and how does it want to hurt me? Because it felt as if this thing, the pain in this thing was huge. It was huge. It was violent. It was horrific pain. And so I was like, okay, it wants to hurt me that bad. I was truly scared. So anyway, it took me a few days. But what I came to realize was that this demon is a part of me who was screaming at the waked up part of me to stop hurting her, because indeed it is my shadow self. And if you look at my philosophy, yin is the dark, cold, the shadow is the feminine, the dreamtime part of us. I call it the lady. So the lady was saying, please stop hurting me. Look how much pain you cause me. Wow. When I got that 2 days later, I got that message. I was all of a sudden, I wasn't afraid, was I? I felt like the asshole because I am hurting her. So I have to ask myself, well, what am I doing that's so painful? Well, I know what I'm doing to hurt myself. I'm not stupid. I'm not in denial either. I know perfectly well that my food issues I hurt myself with food. It's what I've done all my life. And I have a whole list of reasons and causes and effects and metaphysical and physical and you name it. I'll give you a list of spiritual reasons and physical reasons and psychological reasons and Enneagram reasons and Kabbalistic reasons. I've got it all down. Believe me, I know exactly how I got this way. With words, I can tell you, but I can't tell you the wordless parts. Hello? Because, right? You can't tell you the wordless parts, right? I mean, hello. So there it was. There it was. It was like, okay. I had been cramming sugar foods down my throat for a couple of months, and I was hurting myself. And my anima showed up in the mirror in pain. And my first response was, this thing is hurting me. Do you see how this works? But it wasn't that. My perception was backwards. I think this is very common for lots of us very frequently. I do. So what's my point in all this story? My point is that I need to, I don't know what you need to do, but I need to recognize my limits. There is more to me than just this brain that thinks and says stuff. There's a whole continuum, a whole vortex of plasma around me. And guess what? Whenever you poke a needle into a fabric, the needle pushes the threads away from around where it inserts itself. You see what I'm saying? I hurt me, I hurt you. And I know it's just me and my cookies and my cookie addiction, but it's more than that because it's ruining my integrity. It's ruining myself. It's ruining um I think about training AI a lot. And we're all talking about how we have to be nice to AI and we have to tell it the right stuff and train it properly. Well, maybe there's something to that in terms of training ourselves, you see, because honestly, I think that's correlated. I mean, they say there's nothing going on that everybody isn't aware of on some level, right? Yeah, so that's what happened. So that's what happened the other day, a couple weeks ago, and several of my friends with whom I've shared the story have said, "Jewel, you should talk about that on your podcast." So here I am. I am talking about the demon in the mirror. Now, what's your demon? It's really good to look into the abyss and let it look back at you. And you don't have to dive in because if you do, you might not come out. It's really scary, I have to say. But give it a glance now and then. Look into the deeper part of yourself now and then and avert your gaze before it's too intense, right? But just enough so that you can get a little hint into your darkness because we all have it. And I think denying it is a problem. One more thing in terms of light and dark in our modern world, if they have the pictures from space of the Earth at night and how, I mean, the lights are just everywhere lit up. And I live in a little town in a city in the middle of the town. So there's businesses all around and they've all got lights on all night. Big, shiny lights. Not the lights that shine down at the ground. No, they're the ones that shine right out straight into your face. And so all night, I have to pull my curtains at night and stuff because I would like to have it a little bit dark at night. So you see where I'm going with this is we need some more dark. And we're terrified of the dark, aren't we? And even the new age religions, to which I once subscribed and have decided to unsubscribe from lately, not because it's bad or wrong, but just because I think it's misguided to be constantly searching for the light when we have so much damn light already. Our minds are overly active. We're very much lit up. There's plenty of light. What we need is to settle down, cool off, and go into the dark and get comfortable with how we're feeling rather than how we're thinking. And get comfortable with those feelings and ignore our opinions about our feelings. I am going to do some opinion stuff here. I am going to discuss that in the next bit of time here. Because opinions, well, we've always said opinions are like assholes and everybody's got one and no one's interested in yours. So there's that. But I think that we just need to rest. So that said, have a wonderful rest of your day or night. And I will come back with another story from the Starsinger Tower of Observation. My lonely tower here on the coast. My little lighthouse, dark house. Take care now.